Hi folks. One of the things I dislike is the way that we sometimes use words so glibly without really defining what we mean by the word that we're using, or furthermore we don't give an adequate explanation how it might be possible to do what we are saying the person should be doing, and these sort of things I really dislike. And one word I particularly dislike the way it's so often used is the word to forgive. How many times do we say to people, "Oh, forgive her," or "forgive him," or "forgive them," and without explaining how they might go about doing that, we can oftentimes make life very, very unbearable. How many times have I heard people say to me, "Forgive them? What, the way I feel about them? Not on your life." And that's the key to the whole issue, the way I feel about them. Very important thing. Forgiving people is something that I had to do a lot of when I became a Christian. Eventually, that is. I had to forgive my father for his cruelty and violence. I had to forgive my mother for not protecting us from that violence. I had to forgive people that betrayed me, stuck a knife in my back so many times, and eventually I had to come to terms with learning how to forgive these people. So when I first became a Christian, I had a whole mountain of forgiveness to work my way through. But the problem was that I couldn't forgive them simply because of the way I felt about them. And that was the problem. So often I found myself in torment over these issues and my inability to forgive them. In fact, Jesus declared, didn't he, that we would be tormented if we couldn't forgive those who'd sinned against us. And I went through an awful lot of torment due to the fact that I could not forgive so many people. But over the years, as I read my Bible, I began to find a mechanism for being able to do it. The problem was the way I felt, and I began to realise that there had to be a mechanism for to enable us to forgive someone no matter how we felt about them. And it was whilst I was reading the book of James, particularly in chapter 3, where I began to find a mechanism for doing it. I'm just going to read a few verses from chapter 3 to you now. James said, "We put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us. We can turn the whole animal with that little bit in his mouth. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants them to go." So what James is saying is that we can control a horse through its mouth. We can control a big ship with a very, very small rudder at the back end of the ship. And all this is using as an analogy to our tongue. So therefore, I concluded from all this that what we say is what we are, or what we say is what we become. So then my tongue controls my thoughts, and my thoughts controls my feelings. And all this I got from the book of James. So I concluded that the reason that I hated people was because I had hateful thoughts about them in my head. And the reason I had hateful thoughts in my head is because I had spoken hateful words against them. And this was the controlling point. So I concluded that in order to get round the way I felt, I needed to start saying some less hateful things, or kind things, in actual fact kind things, about some of the people that I hated. And I found that as I spoke kindly to them, I was influencing eventually the way I thought about them. And then gradually what I was feeling about them began to change and come in line with what I was thinking and what I was saying about people. And so in order to feel differently about people that annoy us, or people that have really hurt us very desperately or badly even, in order to feel differently about these people, we have to get at the root of the matter, which is what we say about them. Now, it would be better if I give you some examples, and so over this next week I'm going to be doing another video, or maybe two, about some of the men I've worked with in prison that I tried my mechanism out on, having proved in my own experience that this mechanism works. By speaking differently, we affect the way we think about them, and then ultimately the way we feel about them. And I want to tell some stories of the hardest place you could try this mechanism out. I'd proved it in my own life, but now the Lord was going to give me the chance to prove it out in the hardest place on earth, and that's inside of prison. So keep looking at the website, and in the next week, hopefully by this weekend, I should have at least one video out on some of the men that I helped and some of the remarkable changes I saw. And not only I saw it, but other people inside the prison saw and commented on it also. And several times people said to me, "John, what's your formula for it?" And I used to have a little joke that I answered back to them. But I can assure you that I've got some stories that will show you how what I say leads to what I think, leads to what I feel, and we can undo it by following a mechanism. So God bless you. Have a good week this week, and come and hopefully look at the video I'm going to get out for this next weekend. Bye for now.